This evening, I thought for our meditation, we might focus on the idea of labor and work. We are approaching the Labor Day weekend, and I've been doing a lot of thinking about what work we are called to do and what work matters and what it means to labor. And so we're going to delve into that a little bit in our meditation tonight. But we begin by first kind of finding ourselves in this space. You might want to adjust so that you're comfortable on whatever you're sitting on or lying on. You may want to close your eyes or focus on some focal point in the room or the image on the screen, whatever it is that allows you to deepen a little bit into your relaxation. I invite you to draw your attention to your breath. Just be aware of the natural rhythm of your breath, that ebb and flow of that life-giving energy. You don't need to force it. Let it happen with the need to take in that breath. And as you focus your attention on your breath, you may feel the need to take a deeper breath, to fill your lungs deeper. You may even feel the sensation that you need to yawn, and that's okay. That's your body just taking in what it needs, filling those lungs, deepening that relaxation. I invite you to imagine that you are getting heavy. You can feel the weight of your body on the chair or the bed or the floor. This is a good thing, as gravity grounds you and holds you. And as you deepen your breath, imagine that relaxation just flowing over you. Feel any tension or negative energy or worry just leave your body with each exhalation. See if you can relax enough that everything becomes sort of automatic. You don't need to worry about anything. You don't need to think about breathing. You can just allow your body to relax and to let those automatic muscles do their work. It's interesting that there is so much work that goes on behind the scenes of our bodies. So much that just happens naturally that we don't even pay attention to. We breathe without being reminded to breathe. We see, we hear, we smell, we taste, we touch. And our body takes in millions and millions of sensations every second and processes them deep within the recesses of our being and without our notice. And yet, when that automatic part of us, that work that goes on behind the scenes, the engine that runs within us, is struggling, we become acutely aware of our need to breathe. To eat, to drink, to do, to be. And so we're grateful. And we spend a moment in gratitude to our bodies for all the things that happen within us that keep us alive. Our heart beating, our breath happening, our nerves firing, without our having to think about it. We think of the word labor as a heavy word. That idea of work. Labor has a connotation that is negative, backbreaking, burdensome. And yet so much of the work of our bodies happens so easily and unconsciously. What can we learn from the natural rhythm of life itself? We think of labor as doing. It is work. It is productive. We often think of work as something outside of ourselves, something that we do that impacts our environment, something we produce. And so much of our lives is spent in work of that external kind. Our vocation, our job, our hobbies, our exercise, even our relationships. Tonight we set those aside to listen to the unconscious labor of our bodies that invite us into a deeper work. This work involves not production, but being. Sometimes those of us, particularly who are doers, who like to be productive, who live in a culture as we do where we feel rewarded for our labors, find it difficult to just be, and to focus our energy on this more inward work. And so I invite us to just take time right now in this space to breathe, to be, to quiet and still, and to pay attention to that deeper work that goes on within us. I'm going to allow for a few moments of silence now for you to just delve deep. If you find your mind wandering or drifting off, that's okay. Come back to the breath. Be still. And to be open to what you might encounter in this space. Coming back to your breath. Note what you have encountered, what you feel, what you've experienced. This is important labor too. sometimes the most difficult labor, the hardest work amid the busyness of our lives. But it is only when we are still and quiet that we can hear. It is only when we stop doing that we can be. This work, like the work of our bodies, our breath, our hearts beating, our nerves firing, our brains working, is the work that goes on behind the scenes in our spirits. And it's important that we connect to those deeper energies, if nothing else as a reminder that there is so much to us, so much below the surface. We mark this place, giving gratitude for the time and attention we have allowed ourselves in this deeper work. And we know that we can do this anytime that we pause and are still. This is sacred work. Well done. As we prepare to come back to the realities of our lives, we know that we carry this reality with us always. A very part of who we are, as much as our breath, as the beating of our heart. You may want to deepen your breath now. Wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe. And when you are ready, come back and open your eyes. Well done.